Hey guys, good morning. Hope you're well. Happy holidays to you. It's almost Christmas, and definitely that Christmas weather outside. You guys know I'm a sun worshiper. So on these cloudy days, although I'm from Normandy, France originally, you think I'd love these cloudy days, but definitely a sun worshiper. So I'm going to do two videos. One, top reasons to be an entrepreneur, and the other, top reasons why not to be an entrepreneur. And being a glass half full guy, we'll start with the reasons why to be an entrepreneur and the top reasons why. And yeah, there's a couple of them, but there's really a top one. First and foremost reason to be an entrepreneur. If this is not your reason, again, there's an exception to the rule. This is just my recommendation. The number one reason why you should be an entrepreneur is because that idea that you have, you're so, and I'm gonna use the word passion on this time, so passionate about it, so interested in it, that you could do it almost for free, right? That you're so interested in it, that you think about it all the time, you really want to solve it. You see, if I gave you $100 million, that's what you would do. You wouldn't run to the beach and do nothing, which that's a false chase. But that should really be the sole reasons. Now, there's other reasons I'll talk about, but that really should be the sole purpose of why you're starting that business, to be an entrepreneur. Because if it's anything short of that, you're dead upon arrival. And what I mean by that is you're not gonna have that oomph, that energy that is required to take you through to quote unquote success as an entrepreneur. And even when you have it, this is the hard truth that I've experienced as a lifelong entrepreneur, is even when you have all that and you work really hard at it, your timing could be off, or you might have a little bit of luck that doesn't go your way, and the business just is not going to take off. And that happens a lot. You have folks that are super interested in an idea and a business, and they work at it really hard, and the timing's a big one of them. Only by timing the economy, or the timing in with their idea in relations to the market acceptance. Maybe they're 5 years too early and they run out of runway, they run out of money to stay in the game for all those years, when the actual market comes to realize that what they're working on is valuable. And so, that timing, you want to be right before, you want to be on this cusp, but you also want to be close enough that as you're working on it, that the timing kind of works in your favor for you to get some action, additional traction to make the business work, right? But all that, to even get there, all that takes perseverance, and perseverance comes through pure interest, right? And love for what you're doing. So if you don't have that to start out with, if it's anything like, hey, I've heard AI is hot, or crypto is hot, or any of these things, and you have no interest in it, and what I mean by interest, don't say, hey, I'm interested in making money, that's not interest enough. And again, there's an exception to the rules, right? There's folks out there that are so committed to purely making money that they'll figure it out, right? But this channel isn't about that. This channel is about showing you guys from lessons learned to be as well-rounded of an entrepreneur as possible, right? Where you're working on something you're interested in, but you have balance, you have inner strength, all these things, right? And to do that, I believe, and again, the point of this channel is you have to have love and interest in what you're doing. If it's just for the money, what's going to happen is you're going to be lopsided. So you're going to force yourself, and you're really going to push yourself to work on it, and you might have quote success, but you'll be out of balance because it's not one with who you are. I know that sounds corny and frou-frou, but the energy that it takes is to do any business takes a lot more than the energy it requires to work a 9 to 5, right? Because you're mentally working outside those hours. Even though you're not physically there, you're mentally working. You're always on in a way, right? And part of this channel also hopefully will teach you to have moments when you're not always on, and have inner strength that gives you that ability to get disconnected. But it takes all those things. It takes your whole being for that business to be successful. And again, there's exceptions to the rules. You can viral a lot. People get lucky. Luck can play a role, right? But even those folks, I feel kind of a little sorry for, because when your business is successful and luck was a big part of it, you tend to think that you're a great entrepreneur, right? And you tend to not think and realize how lucky you got. And that doesn't teach you life. What teaches you life, again, suffering your way to wisdom. What teaches you life is when the business doesn't go well and doesn't go your way, and you really have to hunker down and understand, why is it not going well? What can I do to make it different? Am I truly interested in this? It's also a gut check. Am I staying on this path? Am I interested enough in it to stay on this path, or am I doing something else that's closer to who I am? So that's why I'm being super long-winded on number one. It's probably going to be the sole focus on this video, but that's the first one, and the one you really should think through before you even go to step two, right? And step two, kind of right off the bat, once you've kind of gone through that rabbit hole of, is this something that really is in line with my core, and I can think about this all the time, and I would almost do it for free. Once you've passed that, then the other reason to be an entrepreneur is to affect change, right? To help that vertical, whatever industry you're in that you're interested in, get to that next stage in your life, right? Because every industry is always evolving. The things that I'm working on today in housing, 100 years from now, they'll be hopefully well past that, and they'll be working on something else, a new problem that we've long solved, hopefully today, with what we're working on, right? So again, your service, the goal of life, again, the way I see it is to be of service to yourself, your family, your community. And community business is helping your industry move forward. And so that's the other reason to be an entrepreneur, is that you're helping check that box, that business you're creating is helping push forward the industry that you're interested in, that you like. And so that 50, 60 years of your involvement in it, you've left it in a more forward position than when you started in, right? The industry is seeing things differently. Like, for example, for me in housing, sustainability, we focus on two things: of affordability of housing. There are two problems we're focusing on: affordability of housing, and making that housing as energy efficient as possible. Again, my goal is to use technology. If technologies are available to help make that housing more energy efficient, then it's on us to figure out how to use it, right, in the industry. And so my company, iUnit Communities, and you can go to iUnit.co, you can Google, you can kind of see the projects we're working on and have worked on, is to help push that initiative, right? And so the things that I'm working on today and helping to solve, like, for example, the integration of solar roof shingles at the factory, right? That is just starting to happen. Well, I'm hoping that even less than 50 years from now, that's kind of just a way of doing business, that's the status quo, and that they're not still busy trying to figure out how to do that, or all these heat pump systems. So again, these are systems that are starting to become available here in my time in this vertical, and I'm integrating into it, and hopefully when I'm quote unquote done, that I've moved it to that next stage, and when there'll be new technologies for the next entrepreneur to integrate into housing. So that's the second important thing, right? To start a business, is you're helping push that industry forward. And third, I'm trying to think, again, these are off the cuff video, with those two really being the biggest one. But third is as I think about it, just the self-growth. Again, being an entrepreneur is kind of a front row seat to suffering, and you're exposed to things and self-discovery, and all these things are important in life that are, I think, harder to get when you've been in a kind of quote-unquote cushy corporate job or a government job, and you've never had to really push to feed yourself, right? You're getting a salary, you get comfortable, and when humans are comfortable, we don't tend to grow, because that's how we're wired, right? We're kind of wired to avoid pain. If we put our hand on the fire, we take the hand away. And again, there's a middle way here, there's a middle ground. But to grow, again, I love the saying, I keep saying over and over again, but suffer your way to wisdom. You need to have suffering in your life to move forward, and to get to the mindset that you need to be at your individual level, right? Your self-discovery, your inner strength, your inner peace, all all that comes through experience. And so being an entrepreneur, and the third main reason is that, I would say, is self-growth. And the other point of life is hopefully becoming of old age and being wiser, right? We hear a lot about the wise old men and women, is to become part of that club. And I think to get there, you have to earn your stripes, and you earn your stripe through suffering. That while you go through it, obviously is not fun, just like walking on fire and you wish you didn't have to do, but unfortunately it's part of the journey. So being an entrepreneur gives you a front row seat into that with suffering that allows you to grow. So those are really some strong 3 points. The number one is really I think is a non-starter, and you know, I'm gonna make a lot more videos about it, but just really focus on that one. And if you have questions, as always, you know, subscribe, like, comment. That helps drive the conversation. Another thing you can see about having traction is I think I'm on my 30th video. I still have 1 subscriber. I'm trying to do it organically. You know, I may start putting a little bit of money in advertising some keywords that are somewhat affordable on YouTube, so people can start to see these videos, and hopefully maybe it starts to viral out a little bit. But until then, I'm doing it organically, and you can see how difficult it is, right, to do it organically and to see the traction and how difficult it is. You know, having still 30 videos, you know, 1 subscriber. A lot of people would do maybe 1 or 2 videos and quit. But again, I'm doing this because it fits my mission, and I hope along the way you guys can learn something and give you the foundation to have a strong chance at being a happy, successful entrepreneur. That's really the goal of this channel. And also, hopefully the internet is somewhat eternal until somebody pulls the plug, and it helps, you know, my kids and my grandkids and other generations to look at these videos and learn lessons learned from me and what I believed in and what I tried to accomplish. And so that if I can accomplish that, then it's good. And even doing these videos, it helps me get my thoughts into these videos, and so it doesn't just stay with me. This knowledge is out there. This is stuff I'm also not seeing much on YouTube. Kind of a well-rounded entrepreneurs, a lot of hoorah, a lot of, you know, punching your chest, going after it, and which is great. Go climb that wall, which you need, but you also need the other part, and you need to think through it. And so I hope that with this channel, you guys can get both of the equation. All right, I appreciate it, and you guys have a great day. See ya.